Hello everyone and welcome back to our lesson today. We are talking about active and passive voice. So just to start with, we look at what is a voice itself. A voice simply means a sentence. So a voice and a sentence is the same thing. Now, when it comes to active and passive, we will deep inside and then see how well we can bring them out and understand them in an easy way. So for you to understand the active and the passive voice, first we have to look at the structure of a sentence. A sentence is made up of the subject, the verb, and the object. The subject, the verb, and the object. The subject is the doer of action, while the verb is the action, and the object is the receiver of the action. So when we come to active voice, this is a sentence which focuses directly on the subject. What is the subject doing? The subject is doing something. What is it? That one becomes the active voice. So in short, we say, Abdi is cooking, right? Now, Abdi here is a subject and cooking is a verb. So who is cooking? Abdi is cooking. And what is Abdi cooking? What Abdi is cooking is the object. So say Abdi is cooking food. So we talk about Abdi is cooking food. Now this food becomes the object, Abdi becomes the subject, and then the verb becomes cooking. We can look at it in another way, and then we say he cuts a tree. He cuts a tree. So he is the subject. Cuts is the verb, and a tree is the object. So the subject or the active voice is a sentence which focuses directly on the doer of action, the subject himself. So what the subject is doing is actually what we look at when we talk about the subject or the active voice. Let's go to the passive voice. Now the passive voice becomes the opposite of active voice. Here is where we focus now on the object. So the one starting a sentence here is not the subject, but it is the object starting a sentence. So the object is the one going to start for us the sentence and then brings us onto this the subject at the end. Now we have the subjects and the objects. Maybe it can be challenging to others. I is a subject. Me is the object. I changes to me. And you remains the same. Me, you does not change. He changes to him. She changes to her. Right? It remains the same. They changes to them. Now let's look at some examples here. Somebody gives you a sentence in active voice. Say, he cuts a tree. That sentence is present simple. He cuts a tree. Now, how do we change it to passive voice? We start with the object. The object is a tree. So we say, a tree is cut by him. A tree is cut by him. So he changes to him. He cuts a tree. So he is the subject, changes to the object side. And the object changes to the subject side. Right? So a tree is the object in active. It comes and begins the sentence now in the passive because our main focus is always on the object when it comes to passive voice. General changes depends with the tense that is used. For example, we can look at a different tense and say, for example, she is cooking food. She is cooking food. Now that is continuous. She is cooking food. When you change from active to passive, the verb has to be in verb 3, which is the participle. So cook is the present tense, cooked is the past tense, and cooked is the past participle because that is a regular verb. So we say food is being, ing, cooked by her. Food is being cooked by her. So we change it from active to passive. General, just to sum it up, we say number one, when we talk about the active voice, our main focus is on the subject. The subject who is doing something. So the main focus is on the subject. And when we talk about passive voice, the focus is on the object. So with the passive voice, we start our sentences with the object. In active voice, we start our sentences with the subject. Thank you very much, and I hope you got it right. Anyone with a comment, just put it in the comment section and I will be able to read it and respond to you very, very effectively, inshallah. Thank you very much and welcome again.